Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 5 of the Gaming Gyms podcast, where myself, Will,
Tom,
Ryan,
Coleman.
will all sit around and we're going to talk about the movie trailers that aired during the Super Bowl this past Sunday. Lots of good ones. I'm pretty excited about them, so who would like to start it off?
I mean, the one I'm excited for because it has nostalgia reasons is the new Buzz Lightyear movie. But, right?
Do they have a trailer?
It did have a trailer. It was in. Oh my god!
No,
Did
was
you
it-
even
that
watch
wasn't-
the
it wasn't a
Super
real-
Bowl?
at me. You did no homework. I'm not prepared.
I did homework, except for on one.
What Sparkno did it?
Anywho, for the new Buzz Lightyear movie to come out, they actually showed Buzz's main protagonist, Zurg.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Not
excited about
gonna
that
lie,
one.
I haven't seen this one either.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
Recap.
Yeah.
Okay, I will have to go check that out. I'm gonna write it down.
Are the little aliens in it?
I have no idea. They were
Oh.
not in the trailer.
They better be.
I wonder if they're gonna be like creepy looking.
Yeah,
They
too
might
much
be because
stinky, right?
Zurg was pretty terrifying to look at.
Yeah.
Actually, they made him more
Like Kevin
menacing than he was in the animated series growing up
Because there was
before your time.
Yeah, apparently.
whatever you say.
What's an animated series?
What's a lock-in?
Civil rights,
We're,
right?
we're so glad to have you back.
I'm so glad to be back. I'm sad I missed the Nerf war.
You did. It was great.
What a turf war?
It's my piece of carpet.
No, Lois, when you said you wanted to come tear this carpet up, I thought you had something else in mind.
And the sidebars start. Buckle up, folks. It's gonna be a long one. So, Lightyear, very menacing Zorg. I like it.
Carry on.
Zurg.
Zurg.
Please, please.
Zorg.
Yes,
Not a Zorg.
yes,
not a
Emperor
Borg.
Palpatine in the new Buzz Lightyear. I've heard it's fantastic.
Yes.
Indubitably.
Power.
Lightning everywhere.
Who gives a shit about that? Here comes Mongo.
Oh,
Sorry.
goodness.
So, Tom, what were you most excited for?
Honestly, everyone knows I'm a DC fan. I'm really excited about those movies coming out. The new Batman movie is going to be great. With Catwoman and the Riddler being the Riddler being the main villain. That's going to be
Yeah.
like really diving into that more. I mean, Jim Carrey did what he was supposed to do. Whether or not you enjoy it, I mean, nostalgia wise, I enjoy it.
Ooh. Have you
But-
seen Gotham?
Yes.
Gotham's a good
Which
show.
Riddler was better, Jim Carrey or the Gotham Riddler?
I would have to say Gotham has its own
Okay.
take on the characters. But so did Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
So, but I would like the Gotham one better. Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah. See, Jim Carrey's is very goofy and all that kind of stuff, but so is Gotham's.
Yeah.
Like I really like Gotham's Penguin, but I will always love Danny DeVito's Penguin.
Danny DeVito's best
That
book.
French flipper trick, man. There's something else. Biting off. What was the guy's name?
I have no idea, but I know what you're talking
Biting off
about.
Christopher Walken's nose. Ball won't do
My
that.
stars.
But anyway, back to the DC movies. The Black Adam movie. I think DC's really coming in hard now with the big signings with John Cena as Peacemaker. You got Dwayne Johnson come out as Black Adam. I mean, the original Shazam movie did really well. I mean, people really said it was fun. Like, it may have not done super well at first, but I think it's gained popularity as it's gone on. It's just
Like that's something
it's a
DC does,
fun
like
movie.
they gain popularity
Yeah.
as they go on.
Well, I think it's the first DC movie that was made like a Marvel movie. It was fun.
Yeah.
They didn't take itself too seriously. Like it had serious moments, like all movies should, like that kind of stuff. But it was a fun movie.
Like a good balance,
Yeah.
so to say. Okay.
And I think this movie is gonna be just as good as at that. because I think it's the same guy playing Shazam with other people, so the Shazam League.
Okay. So
they're going-
Shazam is in Black Adam.
yes,
Okay.
and then Doctor Fate is showing up with Pierce Brosnan playing as Doctor Fate, which is amazing. Because I mean, adds a lot of legitimacy to DC's repertoire to have someone like Pierce Brosnan stepping in to play a big role. Because going forward, who knows what Doctor Fate could do? Because I mean, we all know Doctor Strange from the movies, and he's very similar to Doctor Strange, which we'll get to. Everyone, we will get to it.
It's excited.
So I think going forward, Doctor Fate could be a great asset, especially Pierce Brosnan because if they have a lot of younger people, then if they want to really grow DC, like they're having Robert Pattinson coming as Batman, they have the veteran actors like Pierce Brosnan kind of teaching them how to
it gives your movie like credibility.
and then you can build actors off of those movies, like Robert Pattinson. He could really grow into that role, and I think he could do well in it. I mean, he's not. I know he got really famous for Twilight, and those movies are what they are, but I think some movies he's really good in. What was it? The Last Duel? No, that was
Adam Driver.
That's Adam Driver.
Yeah.
What's The Last King? Where he's in that. I think that's a Netflix movie.
Okay.
Where he's the Prince of France, and it's a duel
yeah,
situation.
I have heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
And then I think there's just what is it? The Flash was coming out with it. He's getting a collection of other Flashes we saw. Like there's that one.
Saw three storyline they're doing with the Flash movie. Do we know yet? Or
Not that I've seen. I need to look more into it. I just saw the quick snippet trailer they did on.
I saw multiple Flashes.
It
Yeah.
could be the start of the Flashpoint paradox,
Which would be amazing.
which, yeah,
The
'cause
Flashpoint Paradox is one of my favorite DC animated movies with Thomas and Martha Wayne in it. It's amazing.
I think it'd be a good time to do that storyline with them bringing in a new Batman, like Aquaman, Wonder Woman have establishment.
I think DC. I mean, I know I'm a bit biased being a Batman fan, but I think they really need to invest in just make a Batman Beyond movie. That's what everyone wants.
Yeah, I want that.
That's what a Batman Beyond movie, a Nightwing miniseries. I mean, because everyone enjoys Batman, but everyone loves Nightwing. Dick Grayson running around as Nightwing. You can have Batgirl showing up every now and then. I mean, if it's on DC, if it's on HBO, I mean, they could pay for Robert Pattinson to show up every now and then as a Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even Michael Keaton. Sure. Michael Keaton as old man Bruce Wayne.
That'd be fun.
Honestly,
Like Vulture and Old Man.
honestly, this is
the ultimate crossover.
I was talking to another friend the other day, and I have to say, he said Michael Keaton, but I think the better old man, Bruce Wayne, he may not be my favorite Batman, but I think he would be the best old man Bruce Wayne, George Clooney.
That'd be
that
good.
would actually be very
definitely
interesting.
good.
Yeah.
Because I think
have him walking around with a cane.
I think he would play a better, because we all, we have that picture in our mind of like Batman Beyond, Bruce Wayne. I think Clooney fits that better.
I think,
Yeah.
I'd agree with
I
that.
I think Keaton looks, I don't know, he looks very menacing.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
he's more set for like the villain role,
I think Clooney would look
But
really
Clooney-
good as that old
like a mentor.
whip your ass
Yeah.
and not realize it, like use his cane and do very minimal, like just dodge shit and
Mhm.
smack you kind of guy.
That'd be good.
And then what's the other one? Aquaman: The Last Kingdom. Jason Momoa coming back. We see that one scene with him in that full, beautiful scale armor on the throne.
It's golden scale armor. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Black
Like the
Manta.
classic.
Black Mana's supposed to be
Okay.
there. What's his? I can't remember his name offhand, but his brother. I think it's like a step brother.
Mhm.
I don't remember his name, the character. But he's supposed to be the main villain. It's like I think it's supposed to be a fight for the throne. It's called the Lost Kingdom of Atlantis, I believe. What was it? Yeah, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So it's supposed to be about the Lost Kingdom of Atlantis, like the 12th region, which they lost to something. I have to go back and double check the trailer, or we can just do that now.
Google.
But yeah, Jason Momoa, I think, is going to be great. Always is. He's always going to bring an audience. Black Manta is really drawn back to the Super Friends days. Meanwhile, Black Manta was the main person. Led the group.
He was there.
Like they were met in the swamp, for Christ's sake.
They were. I mean, that's also Solomon Grundy's territory.
Solomon Grundy wants pants too.
I also feel like Bizarro could easily live in a swamp.
Speaking of Bizarro, let's talk about the new Doctor Strange movie.
I'm so excited for this movie.
Did I see alternate versions of characters in this movie?
Yeah, so variants.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's going to how in Spider-Man: No Way Home, which if you haven't seen No Way Home,
shame on you.
Spoiler galore.
Yeah,
it's about
shame on you.
go.
So come back in about 30 minutes.
And we'll be wrapping
You're not
up.
gonna watch that yet.
They kind of explored the idea of multiverses and the acknowledgement that there were other Spider-Man, there were other villains, there's other versions of these superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw kind of a little bit more with that with What If, the TV show that they dropped on Disney Plus, which no one thought that would tie into the MCU. We thought, oh, cool, it's just a way to show off different realities, different things that happened back in the comic book series, different like ways that things could run. And now we're seeing that, oh, What If actually plays a pretty like integral part to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, because you see zombies in the TV spot mostly. You see them a little bit in the trailer, but mostly in the TV spot. You've got the Sinister Strange, which is in What If. Different variations of possibly like Superior Iron Man, but it also could be Monica Rambeau. It depends on, if you look at the TV spot, it's Monica Rambeau. But if you look at the trailer, it's Superior Iron Man. Because you can there's a part where they're positioned in the same pose. You can take it and overlap it. And one has a bit more junk in the trunk than the other.
I want that one, please.
The Monica Rambeau.
Yes, please.
Which that ties in like WandaVision.
It's like the
so
first Avengers movie with Scarlett
Doctor
Johansson.
Strange 2 really ties in. We're getting like Spider-Man No Way Home, WandaVision, potential like Loki, because I talked about variants. We've got What If, the cartoon series that wasn't live action, but they're bringing that to live action. And the voice that everybody heard of We Should Tell Them the Truth, of pretty much being
man.
Patrick Stewart is returning.
Excuse me, sir. Patrick Stewart.
There we go. Thank you.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. You're the man. You're the man now, dog.
Or the Marvel Universe. Professor Xavier.
Yes.
Professor Charles Xavier.
Yes.
So we have the potential of him returning. There's a silhouette that has
Tell him the truth. What do you think they mean by that? His line.
The truth about Wanda. I think they're going for a House of M storyline, or at least that's the basis of it, where in the House of M, they pretty much decide that Wanda is the most powerful mutant superhero ever created.
Yes. Cannot
be controlled and has the potential to wipe out and just completely eradicate reality as we know.
So, is that similar to the Phoenix Force? Is that what they're saying? Wanda is on like a similar level? Because that was always
Strong.
or is it even stronger than the Phoenix
Stronger
Force?
than the
Wow.
Phoenix Force, like, you can like wipe out stuff, but Wanda, as we saw with WandaVision and Westview, she can alter reality.
Yeah. She once, in the comics, there was a death in the family at the hands of some mutants. And she just uttered the word, no more mutants. And there were none
That's the House of M.
ever in existence.
She
If you
wiped
had mutant powers,
every mutant
gone.
off of the face of the earth.
Yep.
You
then-
talk about Superman being OP.
Fair enough.
Sorry, but I just
This
You
is
have
magic versus poor writing.
magic.
Magical sun.
Say,
You have to think, because like mutants aren't really in the MCU yet. We've had like they've brought in obvious mutants like Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch. They were mutants in the comic books, but they were never given mutants. We haven't even heard like Inhumans until the Inhuman show came on.
Yep.
So with them bringing in Patrick Stewart and also WandaVision, kind of like hinting towards mutant, like they said the word mutant, everyone lost their minds when like one word was muttered. And it could be the opposite of House of M, where she does snap, but instead of killing mutants, she creates mutants. And
Well,
then
that would be
snapping the realities together to just throw in the Fox MCU, or sorry, the Fox X-Men. Whether that be Patrick Stewart or...
Wait, hold on. You're telling me that I could have the Logan X Wolverine and also have the X-Men animated series Wolverine like that? I want a live action that Wolverine.
Possibly.
That would be amazing. Just some. Can you imagine just a big jacked up dude wearing that big goofy ass?
Big goofy. Someone scratched my back. I can't reach it.
It'd be like, what was it? The Watchmen that with the owl, his little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But this movie is set to have the largest head count of any Marvel film to date, which beats Endgame.
I'm very excited for it.
And
I am too.
like, that's crazy. So
yeah, so I'm a DC fan, but I love the Marvel and
and with the
universe.
introduction
It's
of
so
like
much fun.
Patrick Stewart, that pretty much shows off that the role that they're going for is like the Illuminati, which
I've been seeing a lot about that.
Yeah,
they're a group of leaders of superheroes. You've got the original six, which was Professor X, leader of the X-Men and Mutants, Black Bolt, leader and king of the Inhumans, Mr. Fantastic, leader of the Fantastic Four, but also like lead scientist among all superheroes.
Reed Richards.
sorry, I'll let you finish.
You're good. Superior or Iron Man, but in this case it'll be Superior Iron Man. Oh no. Now I'm blanking. Namor, King of Atlantis. And then I gotta think on the last one. What were you gonna say?
I just think you mentioned the Fantastic Four. I think they are way overdue for a reboot. There's a lot.
It's teased for possibly next year, if not the year after.
I think that is
Fantastic Four will be. It looks like the end of Phase 4. Phase 4 ends with Fantastic Four, whatever they bring in, and it could
because
be.
I think really I mean, if they're gonna, because I've heard rumors, we've all heard rumors of Dr. Fate, or what is that? That's the villain, right? For Fantastic Four, Dr. Fate.
Doctor
Doom.
Doctor Doom.
We've talked about a lot
We've
of
talked
doctors
about. I'm a
today.
DC
Doctor
guy.
Strange,
We all know this.
Last time,
Doom.
Daredevil was in the Suicide Squad. We've got Doctor Fate
in the
and with
Avengers.
the Avengers.
It's
It's
like
fine.
what was it?
I'd be cool with the like
The
Marvel
the
versus
Boondocks,
DC
where he
film.
switches the
That'd be a
idioms.
great movie.
That would be a great.
Look, I
movie.
got
Oh
three.
my
Get the
Just Marvel completely kills them.
Yeah.
Wanda's like, no more DC.
It'd be fantastic.
But no, it has a lot of components, a lot of mystery, a lot of people breaking it down. There's Easter eggs galore. You can look at the poster and like zoom in, and there's even one of like you can see Deadpool just going like this. Which I think's hilarious.
I'm excited for them to really get Deadpool and just like random. They just seem to like sprinkle him into all their movies.
I think like so you know how Stan Lee had his cameos.
Yeah,
I think Deadpool.
they need.
Deadpool
needs to be
Stan Lee cameo.
He needs to be like their like comic strip come to life. Just randomly pop in and do something ridiculous.
So dumb.
And just like
Or just
dumb.
like as the city's getting like
Sorry,
destroyed,
guys.
he's getting shaved with the mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the mask on, just being shaved. Like
just breaking the fourth
on.
wall.
You can see
Or
like,
in a
flakes of
Jimmy
the mask
Thomas
falling
stand.
off. Like it's like
Yeah,
jeez.
yes.
And a chimichanga
Another
stand, and Rubble comes by and destroys it.
but like you have to think about like because Stan Lee obviously is no longer with us.
Yeah.
So I think Ryan Reynolds would do a very great job. He would take it seriously in a non-serious manner with Deadpool, of course, but like he would pay good homage to the Stan Lee cameo.
I think either Deadpool does that, or I think even Tom Holland as Spider-Man would be great.
He's too. I think he's too like
They can't.
integral
you
to
know,
the story to like just have.
No, I know. I think
New cameos.
He doesn't fit that characteristic though.
Yeah, because Deadpool like
because I would
break-
so
yeah,
much rather
Deadpool,
have
like,
a
breaks the
Deadpool
fourth
cameo
wall
in a
and stuff.
Spider-Man movie than a
Yeah,
Spider-Man
that's
cameo in a
true.
Deadpool movie because
Yeah.
like I just want to be like Tom Holland's getting dressed and Deadpool's like, yeah,
I
put
just
those clothes on.
I just really
I want that creepiness.
it's just like peeps it looking good.
I just like the old
Costumes are similar.
like the adolescent style Spider-Man. Where he's like, oh, sorry about that kind of mentality. So it's like, swinging through. Oh, sorry guys. Just swings back out, kind of. That's
know
the
you're
kinda
doing
kid-
a thing here.
But yeah, I don't even like to really have it in lines like, oh, like just some. I think that'd be a fun character thing. Like any movie that's set in New York, I think it'd be nice to have him kind of like, oh, like swing through. What's up, man?
But it'll be interesting because one thing too about the really more so the TV spot than the trailer is when you're showing Zombie Strange, he's like looking at his hand as if he's like self-aware that he's a zombie. So it's like, wait a minute, is that our Strange that gets turned into a zombie, or is he able to like become like each of these Stranges and understand what they were going through? Because so far we've got our regular Doctor Strange, Zombie Strange, Defender Strange, and Sinister Strange. Of course, they were teased about like there will be a Sorcerer Supreme Strange on with the Illuminati. You see like the giant statue, and of course the line that Wanda says with, "Oh, you do it and you're a hero, but I do it, I'm a villain."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to the trailer, and I can't wait until May 6th.
Yeah, I'm
Can't
not gonna
stop
lie.
leaking out over it.
No, I
Yeah.
can't.
I definitely,
I'm down the rabbit hole.
I definitely need to. Not gonna lie, I haven't watched WandaVision yet, so I
No,
definitely,
that's fair.
I definitely
that's a
need to-
lot of like.
I definitely need to watch it. Especially it's now that they're gonna start bringing in those miniseries to
Mhm.
their cinematic universe on the silver screen or whatever, big screen, whatever the heck it is. But I'm definitely intrigued now.
You're gonna have to work through like. You'll probably have to push yourself through the first 2 episodes.
always a great start.
They're a little low for your taste.
It just depends on that's like everyone's
Yeah.
taste is different. Like me, I love like the Wanda and the Vision storyline, and I thought they were great. So I was very excited to see, like jump into that, and I just enjoyed each one.
Well,
Whereas some people are like, I just couldn't finish it. It's like, well, what episode did you stop on? Oh, the second or third one. I'm like, you gotta put like one more. Just push one more. You're good.
but why do you
Slow
do
roll.
that though?
Well, it's like a
start-
movie.
Just start.
You gotta build the background.
You have to think of these.
Yeah.
These aren't like they are set up like shows,
It's a 10-hour
but
movie.
it's more designed to be a movie.
Yeah.
Whereas if you watched it back to back to back like a movie,
Yeah.
one, it's a long ass movie, but 2, you get a better like concept of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out because we got some days off coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, because apparently all the shows are now free game for Marvel, which is fantastic because
Yeah.
they announced season 2 of What If.
Fantastic, get it?
So I'm like, oh, well, what else are they bringing us? Like, because
Wait,
What
when did
If?
they announced
Because What
season
If-
2 of What If?
What?
Huh?
Season 2 of What If?
Yeah.
When was that? I missed that.
Oh yeah, they already announced that a while back.
God, that
And then season 2 of Loki is being filmed within the next month or so.
See, I knew that
Oh,
was
yeah.
happening, but
I
I
need
didn't
to
know
watch
they're making
that shit
season 2 of
still.
What
That
If.
one's
Oh my
like
God,
that was my
that's so
favorite
good.
of the shows they
Oh,
had.
yeah.
Great.
I kept looking forward to
Hawkeye
watching.
was really good.
Hawkeye's my
Hawkeye was
favorite.
really good.
Yelena.
That's biasness there.
Yeah, it is.
For other
I want some
reasons.
macaroni and cheese with sriracha though.
Ooh.
Oh, baby.
You.
That is crazy. All right, what other trailers do we have? So I'll continue on with Doctor Strange.
You can continue on.
No, you're good.
Just it's not a movie, but the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of
Yes.
Power. Like,
Yes.
that's gonna be
I'm
so
excited
because
for
like
that.
we had The Hobbit, which showed us like before the story, and now we're getting even before that, which is going to be just freaking awesome to sit there and watch and see how this whole world basically came together
Yeah.
that we've all loved for years.
Right. I like that they're working like backwards, so to say, because like Lord of the Rings is obviously
Mm-hmm.
what happened, and then The Hobbit's right before that. Now we get the show.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is kind of cool, but you have to be careful with that. Whereas when you're working backwards, you have to make sure that whatever happens there
Is accurate
sense.
at the end.
Yeah.
No, wasn't
Exactly.
it originally like the 10 Rings of Power?
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like I think.
So is that what it's gonna be? Like
I
because
think-
it says what is it? Rings of Power. So
So I think it's gonna be basically like the backstory of like how we got
Each of those
each
rings.
of the rings,
the origin
and
of Sauron.
how, and then basically the story of
Maybe.
each person that had the
that
ring.
might be like a slow
Okay.
build.
I think
That'd be
that-
kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's how they'll take it.
Because in the original, or in, well, Lord of the Rings 1,
Yeah, the Fellowship of the Ring at the very
the
beginning.
Fellowship at the beginning, they talk about the rings of power that are given up to each of the races. But that's it. That's all they talk about.
Yeah.
They're like,
They
you know,
show like the battle.
The dwarves
of,
got
like, the
7
one.
rings, and then that's it. But they don't go like into any detail of what
Yeah.
those particular rings did,
Mhm.
other than the rings that went to the humans kind of super corrupted them, and they turned into the wraiths.
Yeah.
The other races got rings, but they're just like, oh, yeah, they're cool.
They're fine. Yeah,
They
they're
don't
doing
do
anything.
anything.
So
So
it'll be
I hope they go delve a
Appreciate
little
that.
bit more into that.
Yeah. Do you think they'll bring in like, if they can, like people from Lord of the Rings movies into that? Because some of them are like hundreds of years old.
They could.
So-
they could
Yeah.
easily do that. Yeah.
Like, are we gonna get
I
like
mean,
a
Elrond.
teenage
I think
Elrond's gonna be in
I think
there.
Elrond
Yeah.
will be in it. A
Mhm.
lot of the elves will be in it.
teenage Legolas just running around?
Maybe. I think he would
I
have
guess
been
it depends on,
teenage
like,
during
what
the
the-
Hobbit.
Okay.
And at the end of the Hobbit, I think he was.
I'm bad with dates, so I didn't know.
He's 80 something years old at the end of the Lord of the Rings movie.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
So-
older. Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm excited for. It looked really good. I don't
Yeah.
know, like don't have too much research about it, but it just looked really
Yeah,
good. It
I
was
always
freaking
enjoyed Lord of the
simple.
Rings movies, so I'm definitely gonna enjoy
Mhm.
the Hobbit series.
Yeah,
Amazon Prime has a lot of sleeper hits.
not the Hobbit.
Not the Hobbit.
I enjoyed it. You guys
No,
can.
no.
We're
We're
talking
saying, like,
about the
The
TV
new series is the Ring
Yeah.
of Power series.
No, I'm saying,
You
but
said the Hobbit series.
yes, I enjoyed. All I'm saying, I enjoyed all of them.
Oh, okay. You
Okay.
enjoyed the
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit.
Yeah,
series.
I think
gotcha,
everyone
gotcha.
likes to.
Okay.
I also enjoyed
Shit
the
on the
Hobbit. I
Hobbit.
didn't-
Yeah, me
I
too.
didn't-
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a great time.
But I didn't read the book, so I'm not like super invested into it. I just
Neither
came
did I.
into it as like a casual fan. Like, oh, this is good.
I mean,
The book is vastly different, but
It's
the movie
incredibly
is
different,
really
But I'm sure it
good.
is. I just like I love
'Cause it's just
movies,
one
so like
book,
that was
right?
what
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
like,
One book.
it's just one book. Yeah. Like it was a long time.
So there's
I
a
like
bunch-
the
give it a
original
nice-
copies.
I
Of
couldn't read one page of notes. I don't think I'm getting through that.
There's a
book.
bunch of stuff that the movie adds in that's like, man, I don't remember any of that from the book.
Yeah.
Because like the book isn't like that big or anything at all. So
Really?
like when they switched to 3 movies, I was very confused.
How
And
did
they
they
started
do it?
adding a whole bunch. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
like, okay, they're just
They're just building their own
The
world.
building,
yeah.
the building a series off of a book
Yeah.
instead of basing it
The
off
other
of
way
a book.
around, man.
I think that was the biggest gripe it got was that people were like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
This
But
could
how
have
are
been,
you
it could have
getting
been one
this-
movie.
Yeah.
which,
It really could have been.
which is understandable.
Right.
We'll be right back.
I thought you were gonna give me a refill, sir, since you're up.
We're checking our library right now. We're actually in a mansion. We have a
Oh,
library
yeah.
in a separate wing. Ooh, wait, yes, our first editions.
They are the first editions, actually. But no, like The Hobbit, that's it. That's all it was.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So they made that into 3. And then, like, each of these is one movie.
Which
it's
these
not that-
makes
The tech's not that small. Like,
These-
this isn't a big book.
These make
No.
sense because there's a lot more packed in than actually you realize. But The
Mm-hmm.
Hobbit goes into a lot of details on some stuff of a fight scene that cinematically lasts a minute
Yeah.
tops.
Yeah.
It's like I got 20 pages of the majestic beard on this dwarf's face as he cuts off a goblin's head, but you know that takes 2 seconds.
back
And
in
then
order. My OCD feels better.
Oh, those are old as hell.
They're not the same size.
No.
It's fine.
Get him off the table.
Put him over here for you.
I'm totally joking.
OCD will never bother you now.
But no, it's a show, so do they know like how many episodes it's gonna be or anything?
With like most of the other Amazon originals that are out right now, they've been 10 episodes. So I'm just gonna assume that that's how it's
About
gonna
10.
be. Yeah,
Okay.
about 10 or maybe like
not
a
bad.
bonus episode.
Do you
if we
think it's
get
gonna be
lucky.
like a continuous series, or you think it's gonna be like a
I hope so.
like a
'cause
one?
It seems like it's gonna be something to invest in, kind of like a Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah.
where, like, you can sit down and watch it for a couple of years.
I
as
feel
it
like it's
develops
going
and
to
goes.
end
It'd be
like
smart if they build it
right
like
around
they
the
do.
like
time
that,
like
yeah.
the first movie begins. I feel like it's
That would
a
be a
good
smart
stopping
way
point.
to do it for them, like especially because we're talking about like making sure it's accurate to the end
Yeah.
game. That would be a really good.
and
way
the
to
way
do
the
that.
first one begins is like the Battle of the Rings and everything.
And you could always pull in, Gandalf could make an appearance if you really wanted to throw stuff. Amazon. Jeff Bezos has money to throw around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they wanted to, like, hey, come on, come do come do a couple episodes and like give us a pop.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting. I hope it's multiple seasons though, and not just one season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really cool to see. So yeah, that's mine.
Quick sidebar. Speaking of Amazon series, the
Legends of-
finale.
Is that tonight?
It's tonight. Yeah,
I knew it.
I'm so excited.
Jesus.
Are you caught up on it?
No.
What?
No?
I didn't know what you guys were talking about.
The
We'll
Legends
chat later.
of Vox Machina. It's Critical Role's animated Amazon
Series.
show. It's,
Sounds good.
It's
it's
awesome.
fantastic.
Let's check it out.
Add it to your
It's a
list,
great way
man.
for
No,
people
it
to,
does sound good. I do it.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell if you were being like
No,
smart
because
ass.
I'm a huge fan of NADPod. I don't know if you guys ever listened to that.
Mm-mm.
You were telling us about it a couple weeks ago, I think, actually.
And I would kill for an animated series of that show. So an animated D&D sounds pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Because I love it's more or less just.
And you don't have to like know like the
Is
D&D
it
rules.
just a podcast, but they animate it, or is it more like a cartoon?
like a
It's
cartoon?
like a car- it's like a
Which is great, which is fine. I'm
Definitely not for
curious.
kids.
No.
You learn that within the first
Yeah,
15
That's
seconds.
fantastic.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you'll
it's
like
awesome.
it. I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
Definitely
No,
check
wait,
it out.
is it Daniel Tosh inappropriate or like funny inappropriate?
Funny.
Funny,
Okay.
appropriate. Yeah, not Daniel
Is it Brinkleberry or is it funny?
funny.
Do you think we're gonna get 3 episodes of that tonight, like we have been?
I think so, yeah.
That's gonna be.
And they already have season 2 done and ready to go.
So
which
it
is
could just
absolutely
come out like
amazing.
next month, maybe.
It could, but it won't.
Yeah, they won't
No.
do that. But
They're like
Think about it because
stewing
like
for a
they
minute.
they have to let it stew, and then also it updates for us at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
mm-hmm.
So you can watch that. It gets done with at 8:30, and then an hour and a half later you have Critical Role.
That's true. I forgot that they do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're live on
Every
Thursdays.
Thursday
I watch
at
them
10
on
p.m.
Mondays when they come.
And then they have like 2 p.m. watch-alongs.
Okay.
Or Tuesday watch-alongs. I'm sorry, 2 p.m. I'm a dumbass.
Same.
It's the blonde. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Oh no!
Which one's the shape
Cover
of
up
the bucket of water?
James Tampa. Now we play the waiting game.
Oh gosh. What other trailers were there aired? Did we talk about Jurassic?
Man, that's
Park?
what I was about to say.
Yeah, we have to.
Jurassic Park
Jurassic.
coming out
That's gonna be
June
one.
10th.
That could be the final one.
Jurassic
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the
World.
epic conclusion. Like it
Okay.
says it during
Yeah,
the trailer.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Jurassic
Sorry.
World.
Jurassic World. Sorry.
Although it has enough Jurassic Park characters and cast members in it,
It
that
might as well
pops.
just be Jurassic
It's
Park.
Like a big. Like, I love it. I like the big
Chris-
like.
It's
Chris
full
Pratt.
everybody.
Everybody's
Jeff
doing
Goldblum.
crossovers now.
The other two. That's all we care about.
Star Lord, the Collector.
Yeah, man. Jeff Goldblum
And the
playing
T-Rex.
one of the most Jeff Goldblum characters in the world. The dinosaurs are really. He's like, the whole time we're not meant to live at the same time.
Right.
They will destroy us. And you see the fishing boat with that giant dinosaur. I don't know what kind of dinosaur it is, but it was dope as shit.
Yeah.
Grabbing that lobster cage. The pterodactyls at the end of that trailer. fighting the-
Terrifying.
right?
That's your worst nightmare, right there. I feel like.
Is that on the plane? Whoa. The raptors chasing I can't tell if they're chasing Chris Pratt, if that one's trying to catch him from up top, or if that's Blue from the first couple movies.
It looks like Blue is kind of like being held at their own home, pretty much.
Yes. So because it looks like that scene looks like it's later in the movie.
Yeah.
So who knows if she got out, or if that's maybe years later after, because you see at the beginning of the trailer, Blue has a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows if that's the baby growing up.
That'd be cool. And like that baby somehow still recognizes Chris.
Yeah.
Because
Like it looks. I feel like it might be a red herring, so to speak, where it shows that Velociraptor jumping onto him.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? Maybe just be jumping onto the bike and riding with him,
yeah.
which would be
Shotgun.
That'd be
super
sick.
cool. You kidding me? What do you
Should jot down the
petting your raptor as you watch Netflix?
Hey, I'm on this episode.
With its giant talon.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it because it kind of like concludes the whole Jurassic Park, Jurassic World series.
Yeah.
And it looks like a good way to end it. Hopefully, it'll either go really well or
What I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What I noticed was they have that same. What's that dinosaur that came? I don't know the name again because I'm not a biology major, but the dinosaur that had the little fins that spit in Newman's face. And
Oh,
that shows up in the trailer, so I'm curious what
Who
jerk
gets
is
sprayed
gonna
in the
get
face.
shooted in.
yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Super
It's one of those
excited.
Jurassic Park's one of those movies that'll always do well.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's just a good time.
Yeah.
Always.
You don't necessarily have to see them all, but you can still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hurt to see them all,
No,
but
I still need to watch the last one.
it's pretty good.
me too.
Yeah. Sorry. It looks like it hurts.
The amount of disappointment coming off me right now.
But it also
You
looks
cut it
kind
with
of
a knife.
Sorry, hell. Got a Bart over here.
It feels so right.
But it kind of looks like they're gonna get like key moments throughout the film's history and kind of put them into this final conclusion, which I kind of like a final wrap up, like a
Mhm.
good way to say goodbye.
We're done making fucking
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
I
That's
don't
what they need to
think
say at
that's
the end of the
true.
movie.
No.
Like,
Let's not go that far.
Let's just,
It's yet to be determined.
we finally learned.
let's just give it 5 years and come back to it.
Right.
Everyone's
Jurassic Park remix.
Take another break and then come back to dinosaurs, because dinosaurs will always be cool.
I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm saying, like, when are they going to learn from their freaking mistakes?
They're never
We're
gonna
humanity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
don't
fair.
learn from
Like,
our
we don't learn
mistakes.
from
Yeah,
fair.
no.
There was a World War II. We couldn't just have one. We had to have two.
That's a point.
Getting on the verge
Yeah,
of 3.
I was gonna say.
I wasn't gonna get
for
that
a
deep
while
with it.
now.
So I kind of thought of something is showing
Uh-oh.
things in trailers, but then not having them in the movie. So it's kind of interesting to see, like, we see these things in the trailers, or like we get excited for them, but they never pop up in the movies.
Or
See, that's
vice
what's good about
versa.
Vice versa,
memory
you show
loss
too
is you don't
much
realize.
in the trailer.
Or well, no, vice versa is you don't show any of it. So like the big thing that
What?
comes to mind is the Spider-Man trailer, where
That's
you've
fine.
got the ending where Spider-Man's fighting the Sinister Six.
Mhm.
Well, in the trailer, it looks like it's just one on all. When in reality,
Spider-Man Casper.
it's right. It's all three Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six, and it's like you watch the entirety of it, and you're just wondering how, or what's going on. How do you have him standing here by himself? How does he do that? And that's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
You they CGI cut out half the cast, pretty much for the trailer.
Yeah.
But now having almost kind of what seems like it could be too much or a bait, just
Yeah,
or a
like
red
a-
herring that you talked about
Yeah.
earlier. Just hey, this is a raptor jumping on Chris Pratt's back, or oh, it's Blue. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
But you
actually,
don't
it's
see
actually
that.
jumping onto him, not
Yeah.
at him.
Right.
So like I
At you
know,
or to you.
I know Marvel does it a lot. Obviously, as we talked with like the Spider-Man trailer, with Endgame and Infinity War, that scene where they're all running at him, that never happens.
Yeah.
So are there other movies that you guys can think of that release the trailers that don't put stuff? Or is that kind of a Marvel thing with just
I feel like
teasing us? Because if so, I'm going to have to go watch the Doctor Strange trailer at least another 15 times then to figure out what they're teasing me with.
Oh, didn't make the
Patrick
right
Stewart's not in there.
it's just some other bald guy. Damn it. I feel like it's more of a modern thing.
I'm almost waiting for Rick and Morty to show up in Marvel. That's all. Could you imagine this at the very end? They just buy it. They just buy Adult Swim. They just show up. Because that's what it's.
Where do you get these ideas from?
Because I feel like Marvel's just like they have so much money and they have so many great. They just have so many-
Ideas in a glass.
I just think Marvel's the multiverse. I just think they'd be another great kind of little. We're talking about Deadpool earlier, like a little pop in, like, oh, sorry, Marty. They just
but
pop
that's
back
not
out.
Marvel.
They can buy it. You know how much money Marvel has?
That's a lot.
Yeah, buy that. It's a great property.
Why would no?
No, think outside the box.
I like
Rein it in.
I like the box a lot.
That's too far outside.
Fucking
You're in somebody else's box.
salting cracking Captain America over here.
Anyways,
You want to do a clap?
But the trailer thing with taking the things out of the trailer that don't appear in the movies, that's really like a Marvel thing, I feel like. But
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the Batman movie comes out with.
Yeah.
They really haven't.
I'm kind
shown
of curious
us
to
much.
see like if maybe DC does it as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with the DC movies. Obviously, I've seen the trailers, but not the movies. So I wonder if they do it as well.
Yeah, I feel like the Wonder Woman trailers were all just mostly. They presented itself as just action cuts.
Yeah.
Like, they were kind of like, hey, this may not happen, but it's like, hey, look how cool she looks.
Okay.
But I mean, they also had some movie scenes snipped into it.
Okay.
But I think with the new Batman, I think they kind of did it the same way. Like you see that scene with Catwoman, like whether or not
Yeah,
that might be the same angle they use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times that's what they change. Is like, hey, this angle looks great for a cut, but maybe it won't look good for the full thematic release.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So maybe that might be. I mean, who knows? Like what you said with the trailers, like maybe they use one for other even Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm excited for all the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Overall,
they all look
I think
great.
we're gonna have a great
Like
year.
every single
movie.
trailer they
Like-
got out. Sonic. We got all the movies we can talk about. Sonic. We got
Oh, I forgot about
The Lost City, Ambulance, Nope. All those movies.
Ambulance. You're gonna talk about
All those movies
Those
look great. I mean, if you want us to talk about them, guys, just let us know.
We'll
we
keep- yeah,
we
we'll
can
keep
do
it
a
on.
part 2 if you want to.
Yeah. It's gonna be a big year for theaters to like kind of
Yes.
bounce back
Yeah,
after
it's
the
definitely
pandemic.
yeah,
Like,
it's been
Yeah.
a
I
year.
think, and that's exciting for me.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
going to the movie theater. So
Yeah, let us know if you want us to talk about more stuff.
Mm-hmm. We will dive into any
Yeah.
and all movies that you want to, because
Even like old stuff, new stuff, TV shows.
Well, maybe not the old stuff. We'll have to.
I need to see it anyway. Like, don't just. I gotta see it. I gotta
You
get
want
cultured.
you want classic 80s and 90s? Let us know.
I'll be lost the whole time.
We'll catch them up.
we'll give you
Uh,
smart notes.
It's a good wrap up for the
Don't be
movies.
it
And how about some wrestling news? I feel like there's wrestling news
There's-
out there.
So much wrestling news.
Rasp.
First of all, the biggest one.
Get
Well,
the Google route.
you know what? It may honestly be bigger than the other one, but Cody Rhodes has left AEW.
Yes, I saw that. Cody
Um,
and Brandy.
He's an executive EVP who has he still works with TBS as on the Go Big show. But
Okay.
he's no longer with AEW as a talent. I don't know about backstage presence.
Hmm.
But as a talent, he is let go. I believe he is also no longer with the company at all. There's talks about him coming back Elimination Chamber. He has been a free agent as a talent for several months now, so his no compete clause is no longer there. He could show up on SmackDown tomorrow if they wanted to.
Oh no.
The return of Stardust, everybody.
Uh,
They wouldn't dare.
They would.
They would.
fucking
They did put his dad in polka dots.
but I hope not.
Also,
They did, didn't they?
I just wish I had some Steve Weisers right now. because I'd make a mess of this here kitchen. But there's talk about the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, making an in-ring return at next year's WrestleMania.
Like
Permanently or
No.
just showing up?
But just making an appearance, but an in-ring wrestling match return with potentially against Kevin Owens.
Shit, I don't even care. I'll take
Battle of
that.
the Stunners.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
We'll be having a watch party.
John Cena might show up and do a middle rope stunner. But those are the two biggest things happening right now. But Cody Rhodes again leaving is huge.
Yeah, I saw Cody Rhodes leaving
Stone Cold
AEW.
coming back is crazy because he's outside of Shawn Michaels, who until about 5 years ago had never came back,
Mm-hmm.
and Stone Cold was one of the only ones who retired and stayed retired.
Stayed retired pretty much.
But
Hmm.
we shall
So,
see what
the reason he retired, he had like neck issues, right?
Yeah, he got originally years ago. He got what's called a pile driver by Owen Hart, who's no longer with us, and he paralyzed Stone Cold momentarily. He had to have neck surgery, and he had to alternate his ring wrestling style, which ultimately led to the Stone Cold character, the change of style, because he was originally the ringmaster, stunning Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to change more of a bruiser style, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which we all know nowadays. And he just, continuous knee issues. We all saw him with the braces at the end. And ultimately, with the newer stars coming in, he felt he was slipping farther down the card without real justification. He always said he didn't mind doing the job, so to speak, but it had to be worth the story. And just losing randomly to Brock Lesnar on a SmackDown was not worth the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something you just do on a SmackDown. And that was the infamous take his ball and go home moment when he left WWE and retired. So now that his first actual potential in-ring return, he's come back in-ring moments.
Randomly give somebody a
We
stunner.
have the Broken Skull sessions on Peacock, which are amazing if you're interested in wrestling the world. It's out of character interviews from some of the best wrestlers ever. Undertaker's on there.
Holds a very good interview.
Awesome.
He is a great interviewer. I mean, his podcast is one of the best.
Yeah.
Icon National Treasure, as he calls himself.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
It's for a reason.
He can back it up.
Yeah, him and I know you don't like him. Him and Pat McAfee are two of the best podcasters out there. They hold great interviews. Whether or not their commentary style is up to our taste, they are very entertaining people.
Mm-hmm. They are.
So
I'll say that. I like as of late, Pat's starting to grow on me a little bit.
I knew it.
A little bit, but I'm not big into WWE right now.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying. There's like a handful of the storylines I'm enjoying.
Yes.
And
It's if you don't
They
if you
change
have
it so
limited time,
quickly.
it is what it yeah.
Yeah, the
With
turnover
AEW,
on it is
like-
nuts.
I'm more invested in that.
Yes.
Like the Mox and Brian Danielson thing going on. I'm loving that.
Well, that's, I mean, to an extent, you're sort of kind of the target audience, but you're also an older wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for WWE, people who don't have the time, that's kind of what
Did you
they...
see the Darby Allin and Sammy fight?
No.
You gotta watch that.
Probably. Was that on last week's, was that yesterday's Dynamite?
Yesterday's.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah. That was good.
I'm sure.
I love Darby Allin. I like that. I like
See-
how he just randomly drops backwards on people from the top.
For me,
rope.
Darby Allin is the same match every time.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like, oh, he jumped off the top rope again. That's cool. He did the coffin drop again. Great.
I love the coffin drop.
No, it's a cool move. I just think, he's gonna. I'm worried for him that it's the same. It's the same kind of flow. Yes, he puts his body on the line. He sells great.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great performer, but I'm afraid that it's the same kind of thing over and over again. Like he's gonna get kind of stereotyped in with the Young Bucks, and he's gonna have the Michael Richards syndrome, where he's stuck as Kramer his entire career. You know,
Okay.
he's gonna get stuck as this character his entire career.
Yeah.
Like he's always gonna be the brooding goth kid who's not a heel, not a baby face. He's just him.
Yeah. Kind of like right in the middle.
Yeah, which is fine, but the shelf life on that, who knows what it could be.
True. I feel like it's longer as long as he keeps like getting like close with Sting.
Yeah, but how much longer is Sting gonna be relevant? Like we all know Sting, we all love Sting,
Mm-hmm.
but
With the newer
they
generation
need
coming
to
up.
grow talent. They don't need the more they rely on Sting and Jake Roberts and all these other people to be microphones for younger talent and not have these talent speak for themselves per se. Whether or not they're learning from the older vets
I mean, what about
is great, but
Paul Heyman though?
but Paul Heyman, as we've seen with, let's say, Roman Reigns, he's worked with Roman Reigns, and now Roman Reigns has taken over as his own mouthpiece.
What if that's what AEW is gearing them up for?
But after 2 years, let's say, what is it? Who's Jake Roberts? Who's he with? The Murder Hawk Monster. Is his nickname?
I don't know.
Oh, and his name used to be Lance Hoyt in WWE.
Okay.
But he's still very weak on the microphone, and I feel like some people are like the Ryback syndrome. They look great, they wrestle well, but they just never really click on the microphone.
It's like Brock Lesnar for the longest time.
Yeah. So Brock Lesnar, if he's really, is invested and kind of is enjoying himself, he's great. But you can tell when he just stops caring.
Yeah.
Like right now is great. Brock Lesnar has been amazing on Raw.
I've been enjoying like whenever it's
Yes.
an Austin Theory
Yes.
taking selfies with the cowboy hat
Yes.
together. That's hilarious. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's
But
like
it's good.
it's what
I feel like the highlights, like the
it's
Instagram reels of
grown
it.
men with scripted fights. It's supposed to be entertaining.
yeah.
We all know what it is. It's still,
It's not
but,
real.
but it's fun.
Wait.
Yeah, like but it's people who cared like to put on a fun show.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're more fun to watch. You can tell who cares and who doesn't. Like,
Absolutely.
but I mean, we got the Elimination Chamber coming up. I think it is
I
Saturday.
love the elimination
I
chamber.
It is in Saudi Arabia, which has its own set of controversies.
Alexa Bliss is back.
Unfortunately, she's still
Wait.
no. I love her being back, but I just wish she would get out of the character she's been. I wanted her to go back to the goddess.
Oh, okay.
She's prettier as that one.
All right, you're biased on a different reason.
I know.
Got it.
Yeah. No one said I'm wrong. That's all I'm saying.
No one's saying you're wrong.
No.
I think it's gonna be a great year because we got Mania coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a lot of great matches. We're talking Lesnar versus Reigns, maybe title versus title, but they both give a F. I know, but it's,
I won't watch. I mean,
yes, you will.
Wait.
Same thing every
Yes,
year.
you will.
No.
It is the same thing.
I'll make you.
That's fine. You can try. It's like, what are they gonna do? Like combine the titles again?
Hopefully.
So we're going back to the WWE title and the World Heavyweight title when they first merged them together.
I'd rather
then
them-
they separated them.
I would
Now
rather
we're gonna
them-
merge them again.
Listen, I hear what you're saying, but as an older wrestling fan,
Mm-hmm.
older, I would think it would serve better to have one main title. I don't like that they have two main titles.
Do you think it's?
I want them to
because-
have one main title, and then they have the American and Intercontinental Championships are
Mhm.
per show. Then you have your one champ.
But that one champ has to work.
No, they don't. They don't have
times
to.
a
They don't
week.
have to be on that. That's the thing. You have
No.
your other two championships to be the workhorse
So,
champion.
pick up
combine the
black.
titles
I want it to
and
be
give the U.S. and the Intercontinental
Yes.
more meaning.
yes.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Yes.
I kind of
Because
like
And
that.
I
will
think
agree,
that might be what
when
they're
they
going to do.
first combined them,
Yes.
the U.S. and the Intercon, they felt like they had more meaning.
Exactly.
Like they started paying attention to them more. Whereas
Yes.
now, I can't tell you who the U.S. champion is.
Same.
And I think the Intercontinental is Shinsuke.
Nope. Was. Sami Zayn.
Don't know. I don't know. Oh, U.S. is
Yes.
Damian.
Damian.
Oh yeah, Archer moved me.
There we go.
Yeah, he's doing the
Bad-
whole
Bad Bunny.
he's doing the whole Jekyll Hyde thing right now, which is super cheesy, but it's WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll always watch it because I watched it forever. But
I just felt like because he has a match or had a match with I guess AJ Styles for
yeah, their pay-per-views are always great. Their weekly shows are all right, but
yeah.
the matches are still great because the performers still care. But like their
Some performers.
like the reason, like their backstage stuff is what it is. But like sometimes like because you can still get AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura randomly on SmackDown. You never know.
True.
That's true.
You can still you still
yeah.
have great performers there. Just because they're not, their reason for why they're having the match may not be the greatest, which
Yeah.
is can be rough, but you still get great matches out of these guys.
I like when they also like kind of tie
Like the-
in like NXT randomly because I saw like Dolph Ziggler showed up at NXT
Yes.
past week and then like Tommaso Ciampa showed
Yes.
up at SmackDown.
Yeah,
Kinda
like right now on Raw, you have Alpha Academy, which is Chad Gable and Otis. Remember from Heavy Machinery?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're going
Yeah, with
against
Randy
Randy
Savage.
Orton and Matt Riddle.
Mhm.
So you have Randy Orton, who's like the veteran, Matt Riddle, who's an MMA guy, who's been around a while. He's older than he looks. Then you got the two younger guys working with them constantly and just learning. And that's a WWE. Like people say they're not really developing talent, but they are. It's just not the talent people want them to,
Yeah.
to develop,
Mm-hmm.
which I get the frustration.
They're developing talent, but with the WWE characters that they've created.
And that's one of those things, like, as a company, you got to go with people who toe the line.
Mhm.
Like, I was really bummed to see they lost Keith Lee, but you know what? If
Yeah.
Keith Lee didn't want to do what they wanted him to do,
Bearcat Lee.
then, whether or not I
Insane. Bearcat Lee.
I don't disagree with him not wanting to do it, but I also can't say WWE wasn't within the rights to be like, all right, well,
No, I mean that's right for them.
Yeah.
And I also like
But I
that
think
Keith Lee knew
but losing
who he was,
yes,
what he wanted,
yeah,
and
oh
he
my gosh,
like if you like I followed him on Twitter and stuff, and I saw he was very vocal about it. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm still with WWE. We're working on some stuff. I know you guys didn't like the outfit
I'm
this
very
past
bummed
week." Like,
that they didn't make it work.
I was
out.
like, I enjoyed that. Yeah,
Right.
It sucked that it didn't work out.
Because the NXT Keith Lee,
Was amazing. The NXT Keith Lee was amazing, and then they moved him to the main
Yeah.
roster. He was doing good, and then he lost to I think it was Bobby Lashley.
yes. Well, that's what they said.
Yeah, I don't like Bobby
I
Lashley.
hate Bobby.
It's Vince McMahon is still
I
writing
don't
for
think anybody
himself.
does.
Right.
As
Well,
he's
yeah.
in his late 70s, and it's still when Priest still like if it doesn't appease him, he's like, well, we're still making money, so
Yeah,
it's good enough.
that's true.
It's his company though. It's like he
But
can do what he
I mean-
wants to do with it until it
And
stops making
at the
him
end
money.
of the day, you can't say he's
Or until
wrong.
he dies.
And even then, yeah, you can keep.
You may
it.
not
Oh,
like it.
First,
You may not like it, but yeah, they're still making billions of dollars every year.
true.
It's fair.
Because I don't like it.
That's
I
not to be
like
the
it.
general.
I don't know.
consensus.
But I love the pay-per-views. I still like, I'll watch snippets of Raw.
Yeah, I'll still get the highlights and
SmackDown,
stuff, and I
I'll
like getting
The
together. to
pay-per-views
watch
are
the
good, like the
pay-per-view.
hype, and, like,
Yeah.
getting with the buddies and like
I mean,
just
and
enjoying
the
it.
new NXT it's taken some adjusting, but Braun Breaker is amazing.
He
Watching
is good.
watching his matches is the highlight of
Braun
NXT.
Breaker.
Of NXT. It's Rick Steiner's kid. You might know his brother Scott Steiner. No. So a long time ago in the mid '90s, there was a team called the Steiner Brothers, and they went to the University of Michigan.
Oh, wait, I watched a documentary about these fools. I think.
Probably 30 for 30.
Yeah, there's some like, controversy behind them.
But so they were anyway. They were a major tag team, and one of their sons is now the NXT champion, and he's just jacked,
Okay.
Yeah.
and he's taken to it
Which I
well.
thought was so weird that it was him versus Escobar.
Yeah,
Because he's like, Escobar was like a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
For the longest time.
he's good.
He is good.
That's big, yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. They got. I just saw this today. I haven't seen any more about it. I've just seen the headline, but WWE have discontinued 205 Live, which is
Good.
the cruiserweight show, which no one watched anyway.
No.
It's like that and main
Well,
event.
that and they
Stop
only
it.
put it on like at a certain time at like 10 p.m.
Yeah, they never really advertise it.
No.
It's like, oh, the UK league.
Yeah.
They don't really advertise it. It's on there, but like when's the last time you? Granted, you don't really watch Raw, SmackDown, or even on the pay per view. When's the last time you even saw them mention it?
No.
Like,
I
they-
feel like
they-
just kind
they-
of brought them all over with like
They have
Kaylee Ray,
Bea
and
Priestley, who is one of
whatever
the best.
Walter's name is.
Bea Priestley is one of the best UK women's wrestlers, and one of the best Japanese women's wrestlers
Mhm.
on their roster, and they do nothing with her. I mean, granted she's hurt right now, but even before she was, they weren't doing anything with her. Like, and Toni Storm, which is one of her best friends, who was on the SmackDown, just left because it's the Charlotte show.
Mhm.
And I just like, everyone says Charlotte's great in the ring. I get it, but there's other people who are better.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like Toni Storm and
Didn't I get the
Bailey
name?
and Shania, well, not Shania, Shayna Baszler, Sasha Banks. They're all amazing in the ring.
Sasha Banks keeps getting hurt.
Yeah. But I think
That's
that's
her biggest issue.
yeah. She might be one of those people who needs that's another reason people keep talking about wrestling needs to have seasons. But it's not really
What if the wrestlers just had seasons like, okay, you can wrestle for this long, but you have to take like a break. So
Yeah.
You don't like recover,
Mhm.
retrain.
well, I think
Right.
a lot of your bigger stars, can do that. Like the big ones, like
Yeah.
Cena, at the last latter years of his career would take a month or two off
Mhm.
because he would get
Movies.
injured, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like they
Gotta do a movie.
smash his arm with a chair against the steps, and he would take a couple months off to be with family or just hang out and relax.
Mhm.
But a lot of the younger wrestlers can't afford to do that, and I think that's what the AEW lifestyle may be better for some because you're not on the road as much.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, now WWE is not on the road as much as they used to be, but because restrictions, what have you.
Right.
But we do have our first Saudi Arabia show this Saturday, so that'll be fun. Elimination Chamber.
I'm excited for it.
This is gonna be great. So in the,
What time's that at, by the way?
I believe it's 6. No, it's 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, so it's probably like noon or 2 o'clock here.
Oh, that's great. I'm at work.
It's
Yeah,
either
same.
11,
Do that.
11 a.m. or noon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll
Catch the highlights. Awesome.
we'll all watch it when we get home and laying in bed drinking a beer or two. I don't know. But I think so. There's a chamber match for the title. So Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle, AJ Styles, and Austin Theory are all in the chamber together. So Austin
I
Theory's in
wonder
there.
what will happen.
He's gonna have some goofy shit.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is there, so there's gonna be some great selling from him.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, Matt Riddle, and Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. I mean, you got 5 people in Austin Theory that are great names. I mean, Austin Theory is making a name for himself right now too.
Yeah. He's doing.
So I mean,
What they want him to
I think
do.
it's gonna be a great match. Or we're gonna let everyone down. It's gonna be garbage.
I think it'll be like,
Sadly, I'm leaning towards that.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna be like
Being
Brock
kind of
Lesnar
bad.
starts with somebody, Austin Theory, and just starts
I
duplexing him until somebody comes out.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think they're gonna put on a show because it's in Saudi Arabia. They really pander to the audience when they're there because they're getting paid millions of dollars to travel overseas and perform there
Yeah.
because it's the Saudi Arabia shows. They're always over dramatized.
Because
overbooked.
it's usually when it's the Saudi Arabia
Overproduced,
shows,
they
it's
got
the
fireworks
crown
galore,
jewel,
it's
isn't
great.
it?
Yeah.
Usually,
So
is
there's
it the first one that's
they're
not the crown
slated
jewel?
they're slated to have like 3 there this year. No, there's like the Saudi Arabia deal is almost as big as their Peacock deal.
Mm.
Yeah, it's Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Just keep saying the word Saudi Arabia doesn't do a whole
They
lot.
have the oil.
It's like
they
speaking
can-
a different
they
language.
control-
Repeating it doesn't do anything, man.
They can-
Slow down.
They control the world. They have the
Okay.
oil. So yeah, it's supposed to be a huge event. We got Goldberg versus Reigns. That chamber match I just talked about. Okay.
Talking about it, it's not looking great.
It's gonna be a fun show.
Like I'm more excited about the women's elimination chamber match,
Yes.
just because like I feel like as of late, they've been putting on better shows than the men.
It's gonna be a great show overall, I think. I mean, every match is gonna be, highs and lows.
Roman Reigns being up on an old guy, and then
Oh,
Bobby
as long as
Lashley,
Goldberg-
Brock
As long as
Lesnar
Goldberg doesn't get
I don't know.
concussed on his way to the ring, we'll be okay. We'll have another Undertaker moment where he drops Reigns on his head.
Yeah.
That's
That-
fine.
That works for me.
It's fine.
Get Ambrose back.
You have my attention now.
Stop.
You lost it 15 minutes ago, but I'm back.
I'm back, baby. Speaking of I'm back, baby. Just a quick sidebar. I know.
We have to stop saying things.
Honestly, yeah.
John DiMaggio. Everyone's talked about this Futurama Return.
Oh, okay.
John DiMaggio has said the biggest reason he's not coming back is that he just doesn't feel like the actors are getting paid well enough for the show, and he's more saying like, "Hey, I know what we're worth."
For Futurama?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
I'm not coming back as Bender until you pay us all, not just him, all of them fairly. Which
That's a good move.
nothing
like,
but respect
yeah.
for that.
It's a good move.
I just wanted to make sure I said something about it. I'm sure maybe a couple people will see this video, but I want to make sure they know. That I think that's a great stand by him, and what people should do more often.
Agreed.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought back the show like 4 times.
and
Right.
yeah,
So
he's back, baby.
they got to be worth a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a reason. They're bringing him back.
I was waiting for him to do the I'm back, baby.
I was
one
too.
more time.
As
Holding it in.
outro.
Holding it in. I'll wait until we're done recording.
The vein popped my forehead like that one.
But I think that's a good place to wrap it up for the week. We've got an exciting weekend with the Elimination Chamber. An
Yes.
exciting year with movies, as we saw with the Super Bowl. Some trailers there. People analyzing all the trailers. Guilty. I'm super excited to see these movies and everything finally hit the screen and see what they have in store for us.
It's gonna be a great year for movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and for
fantastic.
theaters.
I'm excited to
theaters
get back
being
into the
like,
theaters.
yeah,
That's
more regular kind of thing.
A
yeah.
bucket of popcorn, a big old soda.
Ooh,
It's gonna be great.
going to Flicks tomorrow night.
what are you gonna see?
Uncharted.
Oh
Very nice.
yes, I need to go see that.
Yeah,
Yep,
can't
yep.
wait. It's so
Saturday.
good. I'll let,
Yep.
Yeah.
Saturday.
We'll hear a
I'm
review
going to
about it Thursday.
I gotta watch it before then.
Flicks is amazing.
On spoiler free review.
Okay, there we go. Spoiler free review, just in case.
Yeah.
But thank you everyone for tuning in to episode 5 of the Gaming Dinners podcast. I will leave links to all of our socials below, but you can find me, Cap Stormbreaker,
Tom,
Death Guard.
Coleman.
and we will see you all next week. Bye bye.
See ya.
bye.